Warning, the following may contain acid sloths. Join fantasy authors Phil Tucker, Timandra Whitecastle, David Benem, Benedict Patrick, and Josiah Bancroft as they roll dice and take on the bad guys in a game of Dungeons and Dragons. 5 authors, 5 worlds, 1 adventure. It's time to get crit-faced. Previously on Crit-Faced, the team has won a great victory, killing the vampire Doru. However, they have little time to celebrate when they realize that Ireena has disappeared.
Do you think
Well, now that the vampire
left
has what he wants, maybe
Oh
he'll bustle him.
no! Well,
She must have followed him regardless.
well, that was a waste.
No, this cannot be. And Ismark, it's obviously pitch black except for the 2 campfires that you guys have going on, and he starts searching around in the dirt around where Jean had made Ireena invisible, and he says, where did you send her? What happened to her? Where is she now?
It was a simple trick. I just made her invisible, and she should still be here. I don't know where she went. Ireena, I don't know.
I'm going to try and track her.
Okay.
For anyone else who has survival, let's investigate the undergrowth.
I have no survival instincts.
A 5. I cast around and I say, well, a lot of people have been stomping around here.
Okay, I will look
So
as well.
13 plus survival
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
is plus 3, so that's 16.
Yeah,
Do I
16.
find
Master
it?
Summer, it's not easy because of Ismark frantically moving about, but you do spot some tracks in the dirt, and you realise that
Leading
it
away?
looks like Ireena has headed away, but she's headed away to the east, back to the road.
Okay, quick. Let's follow.
Yeah.
We bolt towards the road, yelling Ireena and throwing firebolts in the air.
Wait.
Find us.
Is it night? Is it
Flares.
still night?
It's night.
Oh, yes.
Night.
Okay, so we've exhausted all of our spells. The tracks will be there in the morning. We should take a short rest and do a song of rest to do a long rest, and we all get our spells back, right?
So a long rest would be 6 hours. You need to rest for 6 hours
Yeah,
to go.
but I have a song of rest.
So the song of rest doesn't. It helps people heal during a short rest, but it doesn't get spells back. It just gives extra healing.
Muffin pop.
I cannot rest while Ireena is out there alone in the
Oh God, I have very little magic left.
I-
Let's
I can
rush.
rest. I can.
I'll let my loyal compatriots take a nap while I run off after the track.
Yes.
Well, I mean, we should just take like a little bit of a. Let's just have a chin wag here. I feel like we should regroup. Even a short rest. Like, Master Sona, what is your health like at this point?
It is unfortunately not good enough to face another vampire. However, we must
Okay.
go and save Ireena, or at least check where she is. Maybe we can still
and-
reach her.
Here's the other thing: is that I'm after my rage dissipates, I am absolutely exhausted, and I would have disadvantage to all ability checks until I rest.
Okay. Also,
Well, then how about this?
Ismark is suffering from a vampire bite as well, and
I'm just saying we should-
Kellen
we
knows, that's something that he will not recover from until he rests as well.
How about
We
this?
should rest.
I will.
Gone.
Despite being the eldest here and clearly nearly a geriatric, I find myself to be the healthiest and with the most resources. So I shall head towards the road under the cover of invisibility. If I find her sort of just vacillating on the roadside, I can bring her back. And if not, if she's gone, then I will return. And we know that we have to go to greater lengths to find her.
Fair enough.
Okay.
So I cast invisibility upon myself and I tear off into the woods at a random direction.
In a random direction.
Well, maybe towards the road.
Right. So, what's everyone else doing?
So, are we taking a short rest or a long rest?
Long.
Long rest. Okay, then we don't need the song of like blah blah blah.
No, the song of rest it only helps with
Okay, so let's take a long rest. Do we need like a watch?
Well, let's do.
Can we just like wait for 5 minutes till Otto
no,
returns,
do you want to
please?
take another survival check?
He's on his own.
Yes.
I'm going to bed.
Let's see. 17 is promising.
Yes.
Plus survival +2, so a 19.
Yeah, so you make it back to the road because you're only really 20-30 feet away from the road anyway. You can tell that they can definitely see footsteps heading north. Ireena is obviously headed north along the road.
What's north?
Towards
Towards Vallaki?
Yes.
Okay, well, let's not take a rest then. Let's all run out there and find the invisible woman.
What? Hold on. So is she like from the distance between each print? Is she like running in blind fear?
Yeah,
She's just
she's certainly running anyway.
Okay.
Lord Taffer, you have to come back and tell us this information.
Well, I'm calculating like Sherlock Holmes kind of stuff here.
My
So
God.
running, the fight must have taken maybe like 4 minutes. The African swallow flies.
Oh, no!
Can I see anything down the road? Is any sign of
No.
a torch,
No,
a carriage, a Ravenloftian carriage pursuing an invisible lady? Nothing?
Nope, nothing.
How far is Vallaki? Like
But at least half a day's travel.
half a day's travel. And invisibility only lasts
An hour.
an hour. So she's soon going to find herself visible in the dark by herself in the Ravenloft countryside. Okay, I rush the 20 feet back into the camp. I tear off my hat and throw it into the bushes, and I say, she's taken off. She's running like a wild thing towards Vallaki, which we all know is a half day's travel away. But the invisibility spell can only last an hour, which means in 48 minutes, she will soon be visible to every single monster and source of evil on the landscape. We cannot rest and leave her out there alone in the dark, which is why I think we should head out there now and chase after her to make sure that we're able to bring her back to safety. Because I know that
brother
nobody
is
here
dying.
could
He's
sleep.
going to die.
What? I look over at Ismark. Are you really going to die?
No, I will be fine.
Okay, then.
I want to.
Then
I want to find her.
That's exactly what a dying brother would say.
Well, we should honor his wishes then.
Okay, all right, let's go take a dead man and a walk on the street. Let's do it. Let's all go die together. All right, so I'll pull that concertina. We'll sing a merry song. The monkey.
Oh well, let's shall we democratize this? Does anyone vote against going after Ireena? Kellic, are you voting against?
I'm on the fence.
I have three spells left. So
I think
infinite cantrips.
I vote. I want to pursue her. I want to.
I worry that we would. I worry that we would have to confront Strahd, and I particularly after killing his protege. And
well, let's be honest. Even after a short rest, we'll be in no condition to defeat him.
This is true.
But after a long rest, that's totally different. Totally different.
But how can we, in good conscience, take a long rest and come dawn go out and find her after she's been out there by herself all night?
You've proven yourself to be an excellent tracker. I'm sure we can find her after a month.
Yes, but that doesn't help us if she's been killed during that time.
Well, then she'll be easier to find because she can't move.
Kellic.
Oh, that is not, my friend. You washed off the dirt, but it still clings to you.
Fine, let's go find her. Again,
man.
Like I said, we've known her for one day.
But I do feel like we have a duty, but I just feel like strategy-wise, like strategically, does it make sense? Okay, we'll put it to a vote. All in favor of going, say aye.
Wait, out of character, how long is a short rest? Like 20 minutes?
Yeah, 20 minutes, half an hour.
You know how far someone can run in half an hour?
Yes, I do.
Depends on the person.
I'm in favor of going immediately.
Let's
Okay.
go.
Let's go. Let's all jog. I'm going to put my pants and we'll go. Let's go to our loins.
All right.
Okay. So.
Why don't you have pants on?
Yeah, where did that happen?
It's a fair point. I shall tie up my Madame Rousseau skirt and we will run.
Okay. So
he always takes his pants off before a vampire fight.
We're back out.
Naturally.
We're back out in the middle of the night onto the Svalich Road, guys. It is. I mean, there's no moon tonight. So it is very dark. Are you having any kind of illumination?
Is this the same road where that we took to Valaki that had the carriage on it?
That's right. This is the very same.
Okay.
Yeah. This is the main road through the valley.
I don't know if we have any source of illumination in this party. I can't think of anyone who could.
I can
fireballs.
What?
I got light.
Yeah,
It's a constant stream of fireballs ahead of us.
I don't know what kind of wizard you think I am, but I'm not a wizard, and I'm a sorcerer.
Magician.
And furthermore, I can cast a spell called Light, and I cast it upon Jean's concertina.
Oh. That's an excuse for me to introduce you to my whole medley of favorites, classics, standards from the tower. We shall begin.
So are we? So we're just moving on, guys. Basically, is that the case?
Yes.
With the concertina illuminating.
Which only illuminates when you're actually playing it.
Okay.
That would add to the enjoyment of this a lot.
Okay. So, guys, we're traveling for a couple of hours.
Following the tracks, hopefully?
Yep, following the tracks, and she seems to be keeping to the road at the moment. Lord Talfrin, you are the first to notice the sound of horses' hooves coming from behind you.
I warn everybody, and I say, off the road.
Should I leave the concertina, or we should take it with me, or we
stop playing so the light extinguishes and off the road.
But I'm in the middle of the song.
I give John a helpful shove.
Okay.
Into the ditch, and we all go
into the ditch off the road. You see light that seems to be moving. From your vantage position, a few feet within the woods, you see light moving up the road. Obviously, whoever's on horseback is carrying some kind of lantern. 3 horses thunder past, and then continue up north, up the road.
Can we make out anything about them since they're carrying light?
Take a perception check.
Yes.
All of us?
Yeah.
Yes. 9 plus.
Natural
It's
20.
a passive perception check.
Natural 20.
It's not, the passive perception is what let you notice them in the first place, but this is not passive. Master Sonner, based on just the clothing that these people were wearing, you are convinced they are Vistani. Okay. But they thunder on past you.
Okay. I get out of the ditch, brushing off the tapeworms and the leeches and whatever else you find in Ravenloftian ditches, and hey, well, that was a close call. Good job, everybody. Let's continue down the road.
Oh, there are leeches everywhere. There are leeches in my concertina. I can't.
That would have been an excellent place to take a long rest, right in that ditch.
You're an odd person.
Okay.
That's probably his natural habitat.
I could have reassumed my odor.
Guys, what's the plan now?
Chase on off their Ireena.
No, it is getting very late.
Was it one person with 4 horses? Oh, if we had taken him out, we'd have rides.
So 3 horses.
Oh, wow.
3 horses.
That ship has sailed. We have to. So we took a perception check for local camp sort of sites.
No, we got to find Ireena. We're not camping.
Okay, let's go into the darkness like fools.
Yes, I didn't say it was a good idea. I said it's the least terrible idea.
Guys, so we continue on. The sky begins to get slightly brighter, and you realize actually it's very close to dawn. You all become exhausted. because you have been traveling through the night. That means for most of you, it means you get disadvantage on your ability checks. Kellen, because you are already exhausted, you're now at exhaustion level 2. That means you can only move at half your regular speed. You're finding it really difficult to keep going.
Thank God we're not taking a break. This is going to work out well.
Yeah.
Are we still following the tracks?
Yeah, well, this is the... do you want to take a survival check for me? With this disadvantage, obviously.
No. Okay, so a 10 and an 8. So that plus survival, that's 13 and a 10.
So you're actually finding it, you realize that after a while you cannot see Ireena's tracks anymore. On the
Anybody else?
Mine
Mine was worse.
One.
Yeah,
A natural
mine was 1.
Callum,
I got an 18.
with disadvantage, so you roll your...
Oh. Ugh. 6.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
so you realize that at some point along the road you've lost Ireena's tracks.
If only
I turned-
someone had told us to take a rest. If only there had been a wise man at least.
And Ismark is beside you. He's quite pale anyway because of his wound. He's clearly suffering from exhaustion as well. And he turns and says, "What? Why have we stopped? We must press on. She can't be much further ahead of us."
She's gone, dude.
Forgive our friend. He is very, very tired. He is very, very. She's not gone, and certainly we don't call you dude.
His name is Ismark.
Dude is Mark.
What do you mean? We just keep going. She can't be much farther ahead of us, surely.
We have to rest. We have to rest. If we cannot gather our strength, we cannot show strength. We must be prepared for the fight before us, and that will require some rest. So we must find a safe place off the road, perhaps, and we can take a nice long rest and become refreshed to pursue her in the morning.
And he turns
Will
to...
a short rest cure us of exhaustion?
No, you need a long rest to get rid of exhaustion by 1. So it will help the rest of you get back to normal, but Kellen will still be suffering from level 1 exhaustion.
The thing is also what we have to consider, that the Vistani are probably still out there looking for at least Kellen. So if we continue on in our extremely exhausted state, we are in no condition to face the Vistani.
We will die.
Once again, Master Sona's wisdom is what we should observe. We have to rest.
So Ismark staggers over to Lord Talfrin and he says, but how can we help Ireena if we are not moving?
I let out a deep, heartfelt sigh and I clasp his shoulder. And I say, we have done what we could. And it was not enough. But we only risk losing all if we continue at this stage. We must rest. And then we will pick up the track and continue after her as soon as we can. I don't even know if she is still on the road. I can't even find her tracks anymore.
Perhaps she's
To
made
run-
it safely to Velaki herself.
Yeah.
She's a strong
Or-
and very, courageous, brave woman.
Well, it's also possible she left the road to camp herself, or we don't even know at this stage.
She's fine.
So Ismark... sorry, do you guys want to take persuasion checks?
Okay.
No, I'll just charm person him and they can do it.
I'm very uncharming.
Obviously, you need to take it with disadvantage.
Oh, disadvantage.
So you're exhausted.
My first roll was a 20, and then I forgot about the... Oh, and my second roll's a 1.
Oh.
That's the one.
It caught up with you.
9.
Okay, he has to make a wisdom saving throw at a disadvantage.
I have 13 as my best.
Okay, 13. So he, so actually, it's Jean. He turns to you and he does listen to you. You can see his eyelids are drooping already. And what he does is he walks up to you and he actually draws his sword and points it at you, Jean. And he says, I must hear you swear on your life you will not rest until we find her.
We will rest. But then after we rest, we will not rest until we find her. That's sort of the plan. We will rest and then never rest again until we find her.
And he nods and puts his sword back in its sheath. But he looks at you, Jean, with utmost seriousness, and he says, that is a price I will make you pay if anything happens to Ireena because of this. And then he slumps off to the side of the roads to throw himself on the ground somewhere to sleep.
Wonderful, wonderful. Yes, that's what you get for helping someone. You see, they help them, and then they're like, "I'm going to make you pay for helping me."
You could always kill him in his sleep.
God, Kellen.
I thought that was the worst person in this party, but I'm beginning to feel like I'm not. This is nice. I feel
right. Okay. What are we doing with regards to? Are we doing
well?
a watch or?
I'm going to take a long nap because I'm due, and other people can hand out the watch because I'm tired. So, good night.
We're probably all too exhausted to stay on the watch anyway. So, I mean, as much as I would like to, I'm pretty sure that whoever's on watch will probably fall asleep.
I'll try and stay on watch. I'll insist that everyone move into the woods.
No,
so
Kellen
we're not
really
in view
has
of
to
the
sleep.
Yeah,
let's go to the woods.
if I could be the one person to avoid the watch,
That's
then
fine.
I could probably get 2 long rests, I'm guessing.
No.
2 long rests?
You'll have to be asleep for like half a day to do that.
Well, yeah. maybe get breakfast in bed.
No. That'll be like 12. That'll be 12 hours basically.
Okay, well then I'll take second watch.
No. You take. I'll take second watch. I'll take it.
Okay. So we go through our watches. The morning gets brighter. You guys are aware of this, but you're so knackered obviously from moving through the night. Nobody really
nearly
picks up,
dying.
Yeah, nobody really picks up any kind of movements. Eventually, and it's probably approaching midday by this point. Some of you start to stir. The deep sleepers, Kellen, sort of starts to wake up. You guys have dealt with your exhaustion, except for Kellen. You're back to level 1 exhaustion, Kellen. Disadvantage on your ability checks. Ismark seems to be revitalized, regained his vitality from his vampire attack. Everyone's back up to full health. All your spells ready to roll.
Nice.
Survival.
Okay.
Check.
Survival check. Okay.
Roll them both. 8 plus 2 is 10.
Survival
What are
is
you?
19 plus 3.
Okay.
It's 21.
Yay!
Okay.
So let's see where she's gone.
So there's no. You look at the road. The only tracks you can see are the tracks of the horses.
carriage.
The horses.
No.
There's no sign of anyone on foot other than yourselves.
Can we backtrack?
Yeah.
With that roll, use that roll to backtrack and find where the tracks went.
Sure. So head back.
All right.
How far are you wanting to head back?
Do we find the track?
Yes, till she disappears.
Okay. So you did travel for about 4 or 5 hours last night before it started to get to. So you travel back for half an hour and there's still no sign of Ireena.
We should proceed to Villaki. I mean, she's probably that's where she would go. Her tracks have been erased. We should meet her there.
And it's also a safe town, so...
Right.
I just want to make sure that the Vistani didn't pick her up. If we could just find her tracks.
If they did, that would not be the worst fate.
If they did, they probably brought her to Villaki.
True.
Because
But we won't know whether to look for them or not. I just want a little bit of certainty as to what happened there.
We know what your certainty looks like, sir. It looks like fire. It looks like fire and more fire and more fire. I say that we proceed to Villaki while we still have daylight and not mess around in the scrub brush until it's dark and then more monsters come out. Let's go.
We have 12 hours of daylight ahead of us.
Oh, the way you waste it, though we don't. We've already walked around for a half hour backwards and a half hour forward. That's 11 hours.
So searching for Ireena is a waste of time now.
No, it's not a waste of time, but she is obviously in Vallaki. That's where she would go.
Your grasp of logic is suspicious.
But compelling? Ha-ha!
I, too, yearn for a hot meal, but I cannot just simply hope and assume that she's made it safely to Vallaki.
A hot meal and a show, sir! And a show.
Not when she was walking through this forest at night. Who knows what befell her? We must take some measures to find certainty. Am I right, Ismark? Am I right, Ismark? Ismark, what do you think?
I have no idea. Ireena, where could she possibly be? This is why we hired you. This is why you are here. You are here to look after her. You are here to make sure we get safely to Vallaki. How could we have lost her?
He
does seem completely lost here.
Strahd, yeah.
So maybe we shouldn't ask the man who's lost a lot of blood. Let's figure this out on our own. I'll put to a vote. Who would like to spend the day scrabbling around in the woods and then die in the woods at night? And who would like to go to Vallaki, where there's probably some very nice bakeries.
The Blue Water Inn.
Okay, let's take a vote. Master Stunner.
Why do I always get the damn vote?
Okay, fine. Let's take a vote. John.
We proceed to Vallaki.
All right. Kellen.
I hate to say it, but...
No, you don't hate to say it. You're advocating that we kill Ismark in his sleep.
Okay, I'll spend another couple hours.
Oh my God,
scrambling around. But then, at the end of 2 hours, we head to Vallaki.
All right, I can live with that compromise. Agreed, Master Sana?
Lord Tarfin, I have deep respect for you as a person.
Remotely close to a yes.
However, I give you my word that I have tried my best trying to track Ireena, and I have found no evidence that she has left the street, that she has gone on, and we just can't see it because of the Vistani hoof tracks are disturbing it. I believe in Ireena. I think she has proven herself to be a very courageous and very strong young woman who could stand up to Strahd himself and at least refuse to do his bidding and his evil wishes. So I am going to trust her that she might have made it to Vallaki, which she knows is the best, safest place she can be.
So you're voting to go straight to Vallaki?
We go to Vallaki, and I am sure we will meet Ireena there.
Aren't all ties broken by fireball shooting contests?
That's true. That's what the old soul says. Yes. So we are an impasse.
That I'm gravely disappointed in you, Master Son. That you would think that after one lesson with a dagger, this should be the equal of trekking through these woods at night, filled as we know they are with monsters.
Lord Tarfin.
But very well, we are at impasse. We will cast the deciding vote on the fifth member of the group, Ismark. Which way do you vote?
Oh my God!
I think Vallaki. I think if Ireena is alive, she would also make her way to Vallaki.
Lord Tarfin keels over, collapses on the road in surprise. And then he pulls himself right back up and says, "Are you serious?"
Yes.
He sounded serious.
What I do not want to do is I do not want to spend the entire day backtracking what we did last night and mean that Ireena is alone by herself in the town or close to the town or perhaps somewhere by the side of the road ahead that we just have lost her tracks. Perhaps she...
Well, our group has gibbered its decision, and I will acquiesce to the great vote that we proceed blindly to Vallaki.
You should shivering if democracy disagrees with
young
you,
woman with a dagger has been able to defend herself over the course of an entire night and is waiting for us at this blue ribbon water pond inn with a full breakfast at the table and a saucy grin on her lips as we walk in the door. I am confident that is exactly what will happen. Lead on, then. Come on, let's go.
Okay. So it is. We spent a wee bit of time backtracking, guys. It is actually getting close to mid-afternoon now.
See, this is how the day burns.
So continue walking down the Svalak Road. Eventually, it reaches Lake Sarovich. It doesn't quite reach it, but it gets very close and swings west. So it's basically just, you could spend maybe 10 minutes and walk to the shore of the lake, but between you and the shore is this tree line to the east, or to your right-hand side, obviously the deeper forest to the left. We continue on up the road, plodding in silence. I imagine Kellen is still, quite tired from everything last night, and eventually the woods recede, and you find a town. The town appears surrounded by a wooden palisade. Now there's fog rolling in from the forest all around, which is pressing up against the wall, this wooden wall that rings the town. That must be Vallaki. Almost as if the mist, the fog is trying to find a way inside the town. Now the dirt road that you're travelling upon, it ends at a set of iron gates, and there are a pair of shadowy figures standing behind the gates. Planted in the ground, flanking the road just outside the gates, are half a dozen pikes with wolves' heads impaled on them.
With what heads?
Wolves' heads. Wolves.
Well, good thing we're not wolves.
Yeah.
So, seems like a pleasant place.
It's charming. Quite
Should-
charming.
I mean,
I think
should we?
Madame Rousseau, do you care to gain entry?
Well, I could dust off the old Madame Rousseau routine. But are you just sending me in there as like bait? Is this like how I'm a lure now?
I thought you were desperate to get inside. Now you're caviling?
Well, I didn't know I was going to go forth on my own. Oh, all right. You know what? I won't deny it. I do feel a calling of the Madame Rousseau. And with that, he flourishes out her cape and puts on her turban and transforms himself into Madame Rousseau.
Okay.
Hello, my pretties.
So I guess you've made your way up to the gate.
Yes, I will hobble up the. Oh, it's hard for an old lady to make it up to the gate. Here we are. Oh, 1 foot in front of next.
Just while Madame Rousseau's doing this, what's everyone else doing?
Watching.
We're watching.
From a distance, or are you coming with?
Oh yeah, from very
From
far
a distance.
Okay. So Madame Rousseau sees two guards, one male, one female. They are carrying pikes, and they are standing behind the closed iron gates leading into Vallaki. As they see you, they kind of stand to attention. The pikes standing tall, firmly placed in the ground, and they say, "Welcome to the morning gates of Vallaki. State your business, stranger."
Oh, it's so wonderful to be welcomed. I always like a good welcome. I have come to Vallaki to share my wisdom. I am a teller of fortunes. I see into the future, I do. And if you would open the gate for myself, and I have a troop of idiots, tumblers and buffoons who follow with me. If you open the gates to us, we will entertain you and yours for days to come, and you will not regret it.
Take a deception check, but you can take it with advantage because of your disguise.
Okay. 19.
Nice.
So the female guard looks at you with suspicion. You can tell there's a bit of
Hello?
humor behind the suspicion, and she says, It's a bit strange to get the fortune teller that's not Vistani. What's going on there then?
Well, I mean, all the Vistanis are all from, around here, and I am from far, far away.
And the guy looks quite impressed by that, and he goes, "Oh, it could be quite interesting. Where are you planning on plying your trades in town, madam?"
Well, at the local inn, where everyone gathers for evenings of
The Blue
festivity.
Water, is that?
The Blue Waters, yes, of course. That's what I meant.
Well, that seems fair to me. Do you want to go and get your idiots and?
Yes, I'll call it. Imbeciles and morons, come down. Come down, yes. No, don't fall on yourselves. They're very silly. They're very silly. Look at that one with the pipe.
Right, yeah, wow, that's bad. So the Blue Water, you say?
Yes, so we're bound.
Right.
And they do all sorts of tricks. They're mute, all of them, completely mute, but the kind of buffoonery that they tumble, they fall down, they pratfall, they roll around. They're mostly on the ground.
All right, well, I hope you manage to work your wiles on old Martikov. I'll be interested in popping by later on in the week to see what kind of show you've got going on.
I can't wait. I tell you what, you ask for Madame Rousseau and we'll get you in for free.
Madame Rousseau, okay.
That's me.
All right, darling, see you then. So, you guys get to head into the town of Vallaki.
Well done, Martabe.
So you, how is everyone doing for time, by the way? Just checking that.
We're getting close to the end.
It's late.
Yeah.
Okay, then what we'll say, the gates open. Madame Rousseau and her idiots get to walk inside. Guys, for making your way all the way to Vallaki and for surviving the encounter with Strahd last night, we level up to level 4. Forget about losing it.
And there was great rejoicing.
Like halfway towards the end, we suddenly spontaneously burst out into cheers.
And I guess then that's probably a good place to end it tonight.
Crit Faced is a weekly Dungeons & Dragons podcast. To make sure you never miss an episode, and to get an exclusive prequel episode of the podcast, where you can find out what our characters were up to before this adventure began, head over to critfacedpodcasts.com and join our Crit Faced fan group.